James O'Donoghue and Stephen O'Brien have been taken out of that full forward line. Anthony Marr and Darren O'Sullivan come in. Over 82,000 people packed into Croke Park on the north side of Dublin. Mayo waiting for the winners of this. Kevin McMenamin desperate to start in this match as he is in every game. Michael Dara McCauley ran straight into Aidan O'Mahony. That's certainly going to hurt. Kerry with their defenders and others back in position. They've left three players inside the Dublin half at the moment as Dublin attack again with Dermot Connolly. Peter Crowley in front of him. Connolly looking for the first point of the game. He didn't score in the final last year. He's put that to right.
Wonderful score by Connolly that time. Again, be marked by Peter Crowley. Very patient work it was by Dublin, and a wonderful finish, caressing the ball over the bar from Connolly.
Colin Cooper, look how deep he is. Kieran Donaghy's gone back in at full forward, and up there with him is Paul Geaney, who's also very good in the air. Here's Killian Young. Young in for Paul Geaney. He's got out in front of Byrne. They could be in here. Goal chance. Donegal Walsh, and Walsh couldn't take the chance. He was hit hard and fair, it would appear, I think, by James McCarthy.
Correct, Dara. Wonderful tackle that time, shoulder to shoulder, perfectly executed by McCarthy. Prevented a certain goal, I would say.
O'Sullivan. It was thought that Kerry would try and man-mark Keane O'Sullivan.
Well, so far it hasn't happened.
No, at least force him and occupy his mind, not allow him just sweep up all over the place. Dublin had players drifting out the field. Dean Rock showing great pace, and now Bernard Brogan, Philly McMahon up with him. McMahon is through. Good save by Kelly. He got up the field again, nobody with him, and Philly McMahon will feel he should have scored a goal here.
Oh, that was a wonderful, wonderful play. Lovely dispatch that time from Brogan to McMahon, coming at speed. Who was tracking McMahon, it must be asked. But you have to hand it to Kelly. Very difficult shot to stop, right down, full length, deflects it out for a 45.
And Dean Rock, who was right at the heart of that move, is out to take the 45 for Dublin. There's very little breeze around Croke Park today. Dull overhead. Dean Rock. Over it goes.
Yes, a confident start, it must be said, by Dublin, rather. 2 points up, but playing lovely integrated football. Just watch that save again. Kelly will be really happy with the quality of that stop.
The runners popping up from every conceivable angle, and Dermot Connolly decides he doesn't need them. Referee hasn't given a free. Connolly wanted one. Here's Dean Rock running straight into Killian Young. McMenamin is free. Dean Rock has put that over the bar. 3 points to no score.
It's a fabulous start, it must be said, from Dublin. They're playing all the football. You know, at the other side of the field they have Kerry ensnared in a web right from the beginning, apart from that one opportunity that Kerry got from Cooper. But just the level of instinctive improvisation from Dublin at the moment, the different areas that they're attacking from, they're just all over Kerry.
Kieran Donaghy, and now out to David Moran. Kerry, this is for their first score of the game, and that has come in the 14th minute from David Moran.
Yeah, lovely score that time from David Moran. Just drifted into the right half forward position, looked up and just stroked it beautifully over the bar.
Kieran Donaghy drifting out again. Paul Geaney is the furthest forward now. It's Donegal Walsh. James McCarthy comes out to meet him. Walsh holding onto the ball quite a while. Here's Paul Geaney, and that's a good score. That is better from Kerry. They picked their way through the lines of cover, and Geaney applied the finish. Two Dublin players around the one Kerry man that Brian Kelly aimed at. That kick-out policy from Kerry still isn't working great. Kevin McMenamin is starting to work in a very effective way for the All-Ireland champions. In the blink of an eye, they open up a 4-point lead again.
Yeah, that's far too easy again. A wayward kick-out, easily picked up at the break, easily picked up by McMenamin. Far too much room given to him. No pressure on whatsoever as he put that over the bar.
And having got back up close with Dublin, Kerry now 4 behind again. This is Killian Young taking them all on himself. Paul Geaney has scored 1 point already, spins around and gets his second. That's a really nice score, made for Kerry by Killian Young, executed by Paul Ganey.
He makes things look so simple when he gets the opportunity. Turns, shoots, executes. Great score from Ganey. Again, living on scraps, it must be said, but within, one kick of the ball, it must be said, Dara, of Dublin.
There's Michael Dara McCauley, barnstorming run. Bernard Brogan. And Brogan takes his point. That one certainly did go over the bar. But Kerry, from their own kick out, they're just not giving Brian Kelly enough options out the field as to where he's to send the ball.
They're not working hard enough, it must be said, and as against that, Dublin around the middle area are just coming on to everything, and that enthusiasm and vitality that McCauley has shown, over the years, once again in evidence.
And there's another one from Kelly, which will come straight back at them. Dermot Connolly. Connolly got the first point of the game, and he's now got his second. The lead grows again.
But there's no doubt about it at the moment. They're finding it very difficult, in particular when the ball is put long, to actually retain possession. Dublin
have won 4 out of their 5 kickouts. Kerry 7 out of 13. Shane Enright. Will the high ball work? It's gone in towards Kieran Donaghy. He's got it too. Donaghy has helped Paul Ganey. That's what they want to do more of.
Yeah, that's a lovely score from Ganey once more. So simple, good touch from Donaghy, well won, and again just giving it to Ganey. Doesn't bother any embellishment whatsoever, just puts it simply over the bar.
Now here's Paul Ganey after a bad kicker. They could be in for a goal here. It's in the back of the net. A meltdown from Stephen Cluxton.
Oh, it's most unusual. Said even Homer nods that time. An untypical kick out from Cluxton. Again, lovely piece of quick hands by Kerry. Donegal Walsh to Darren O'Sullivan. Fabulous goal.
And Darren O'Sullivan has stayed down actually in the back of the net. He was hurt in a collision with Johnny Cooper. Yeah, the sides are level.
Totally against the run of play, but deservedly kind of punished. A wayward kick out like that, deservedly punished by Kerry.
Well, you just wonder how badly hurt Darren O'Sullivan is. There is great concern over him.
Yeah, but once again, you have that mercurial dimension to the Kerry forward play. Great vision, great quick hands, and eventually, the ultimate outcome from it, which is the goal by O'Sullivan. He may have hit the stanchion at the back, I think. Yeah, he's pushed onto the post that time, I think it was it Johnny Cooper?
He's okay.
He's fine.
He is okay, Darren O'Sullivan. In added time, here's Kieran Donaghy. Donegal Walsh. That's fired in towards Paul Ganey. Colin Cooper is up there with him. Wonderful catch over his shoulder. Cooper's free. Is there a point? Is this the lead for Kerry before half-time? You can bet your bottom dollar it is. They lead for the first time, and that's been a stunning comeback from Kerry. The job only half done, but they're in front.
The last 4 scores from Kerry's from the 24th minute, from Ganey's point, Cooper's point following, and then Darren O'Sullivan's goal. Now once again, Cooper, fantastic response from Kerry.
His movement to get free was fantastic. Dublin now can't win their own kick out. A lot of space for Anthony Marr. Half-time may come at the wrong time for Kerry. Anthony Marr isolated, needed help, or does he? He just swung a left boot at that. It could turn out to be brilliant. Cluxton struggling. Oh, did it go over the line? Yes, it's a goal. It's given as a goal. Now the referee has gone in to talk to the umpire, or is he going to talk to one of the Dublin players? But the goal has been given.
One of the Dublin players is certainly going to be booked here. I have a feeling it's Philip McMahon. Just watch the ball coming in. Certainly goes over the line, it must be said, and I think once again it was Paul Ganey in on top of it.
There's very little doubt about it, but the referee has booked Philly McMahon.
He has booked Philly McMahon, but wait a moment, yes, it's up now on the scoreboard.
The goal stands. The goal stands. Dublin conceding a second goal in the space of 7 minutes. The Kerry man down injured. The referee's going to give a free in a central position. Darren O'Sullivan was fouled off the ball.
Yeah, Dublin are panicking, must be said, from Cluxton's kickouts to a lot of unnecessary fouls being conceded. And here I think we have John Small being booked for an incident.
So a yellow for him. There's all sorts of stuff going on here, but that's Dublin and Kerry. Here's Colm Cooper. Wasn't it Darragh O'Shea this week who said Kerry were desperate to stop Dublin from beating them for a fourth successive time? Colm Cooper with the free. The roar from the Kerry supporters as we head towards half-time. Cooper's done his stuff. Dublin haven't scored in the last 14 minutes. And Kerry are in a great position, leading by 2-8 to 9 points here at Croke Park. An amazing final quarter of the first half. All about the bounce that Davy Byrne caught. Kieran Donaghy never going to be caught. Cian O'Sullivan there with him. Darren O'Sullivan was caught waiting by Michael Darragh McCauley. Brian Fenton. Kerry have scored 2-8. 2-10 is the most Dublin have conceded in the championship this year. Davy Byrne is screaming for the ball and Diarmuid Connolly finally spots it. Now Bernard Brogan with the fist, and over that goes. 2 in a row, and they're eating into that Kerry cushion.
Very much so, and you've got to credit Michael Darragh McCauley that had a wonderful intercept at the far side of the pitch. Beautiful pass out, good finish that.
Killian Young, there's a gap. Davy Byrne tries to close it. Pass through wasn't good enough, and we've seen on both sides some really good reading of what the opponents are going to do with their foot passes, particularly. That time it was Johnny Cooper. Now it's Dean Rock. There's space in front of him. Paul Murphy tries to close the gap with Dean Rock, and then Aidan O'Mahony there too, and Dean Rock slots it over the bar. 3 in a row for the All-Ireland champions, and they're right back breathing down the Kerry necks again.
Wonderful intercept again in the back line, but great counter-attacking from Dublin. Rock took on the responsibility. I thought for a moment he was going to give the ball to Connolly, but shot a lovely score.
Michael Darragh McCauley. That 5-point half-time advantage that Kerry had has been whittled back to the bare minimum. Brian Fenton. No pressure on him. They're level. 6 out of the last 7 points have been scored by Dublin.
Beautiful diagonal pass, but the composure of Fenton, a young man who came onto the scene last year. That's some score.
Barry John Keane. Enright wants it again. Why not whack it into Paul Ganey? But he's been marked by Johnny Cooper and Barry John Keane. Oh wow. But you don't need to play the ball in close to goal when you can do that. He's only on the field about a minute. That's a stunner. Kerry go back ahead, just nudge. Colm Cooper. Paul Murphy. Paul Ganey for Kerry, and they now lead by 2. You just don't want this to end.
No, for sure you don't want to end. This has been a wonderful game of football today, one of the best I've seen in years.
Both management teams planning for this game for such a long time. It always looked likely that the two would meet here on this afternoon. Kerry's build-up and how tested they were in Munster and in the All-Ireland quarter-final was called into question. Paul Ganey. Oh, brilliant. Here's James O'Donoghue. They've got a free man, O'Beogley inside, but O'Donoghue doesn't need him. And Kerry stretch out their lead. 11 minutes to go. And it's Kerry leading by 3. Will it be a third All-Ireland final appearance in succession for Kerry? Or will Dublin go back-to-back for the first time since 1995? Make back-to-back finals, that is. But again, Kerry are picking their way through the lines of cover. Colm Cooper. And now there's no pressure on Paul Murphy. Murphy for Kerry. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They were poised, they were patient, and they were ruthless in front of the post. Paul Murphy, 2-13 to 16 points.
Wonderful. Calm football, clear thinking, it must be said, by Kerry. They're very much in the driving seat at the moment.
Kevin McManaman. That's for Bernard Brogan. Philly McMahon is there with him. Dean Rock is screaming for it. Now Philly McMahon scored at the All-Ireland final last year, and he's repeated the dose 11 months later.
Yeah, good score by Mahon, but one of the points I'd just like to make is that Bernard Brogan is a lone threat up there. He's not getting enough support, and I do believe Dublin are chasing a game at the moment. I think they must push up a little bit more. Kerry are very much in the ascendancy. It is they that seem to have the greater energy of getting the runners.
Now it's Paul Mannion. Mannion managed to hang on to the ball. Owen O'Gara can't. Diarmuid Connolly, that's touched on the ground. It's a free in. It'll be a chance for Dean Rock to bring the sides level. They've been level twice before.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Hunger by both sides. Great courage by every single one of them, going hard for the ball. That time, tough enough call, but another opportunity for Rock to put another one on the board.
That's gone over the bar. The Kerry defenders around were claiming that where he actually made contact with the ball wasn't where the infringement took place.
Yeah, but in general with Rock, in all fairness to him, anything close to goals, anything within 40 metres, very accurate.
Diarmuid Connolly, Owen O'Gara is the furthest forward. Rock to the left, Brogan to the right. Connolly sizing up the options. Kevin McManaman. Peter Crowley in front of him. McManaman slipped. Very difficult angle for the lead. For the lead. And he's nailed it.
What a score for McManaman. That time Connolly came forward with the ball, held his composure. McManaman, as he's done all day, unselfishly makes himself available for it. Takes it on his left foot from a horrible angle and puts it over the bar. That is bravery at its best.
And what is it about Kevin McManaman against Kerry down into that goal? 5 minutes to be added on. There's still loads of time. Enright. Now it's Stephen O'Brien. Stephen O'Brien for Kerry. It's gone over. It's gone over. Level. Stephen O'Brien. I thought for a moment he might have been in for a goal. He had that thought too, but decided to take his point and bring us level again. 5 minutes out of time. James McCarthy spotted a bit of a gap. Peter Crowley now. Owen O'Gara. O'Gara. Over it goes. O'Gara edges them in front.
Well, I think it was in 2013, O'Gara's 38-minute goal put the hammers into Kerry, finished the game off. At that time, that score was as important as any he has got.
Now it's Peter Crowley with gone down injured. Referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge. Some of the Kerry players have stopped. Dublin haven't, and Cormac Costello hasn't. Peter Crowley is slowly picking himself back up.
That was some that time. Who was it? McManaman, I think.
Brian Fenton. The issue for Kerry now is trying to get the ball back. Michael Fitzsimons. Kieran Kilkenny. Kevin McManaman. Lots of space, but now the defenders come towards him. Killian Young was there. Paul Mannion. They lead by one. They were 5 down at half-time. Diarmuid Connolly has missed several in the second half, but he doesn't miss.
Oh, what a score by Connolly. That is a match winner if there was ever one. Just look at the technique of that. Great patience by Dublin, but a devastating finish.
The referee blows full time. It's over. It is over. And Dublin are back in the All-Ireland final as they continue their bid for back-to-back All-Ireland titles. They've beaten Kerry for the 4th time in a row. Kerry gave it absolutely everything. We heard they were desperate to bring an end to the losing run against Dublin, and they came close, very close. But Eamon Fitzmaurice, the pressure on him now after this defeat, the full-time score as Dublin head back to the All-Ireland final. They'll play Mayo. Dublin 22 points, Kerry 2-14.
We had them rattled at half time.